Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's me, C Ballin here. I know it's been a while since y'all have heard from me, but hey, good news is I'm back. So for my first video back, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over the X Factor abilities that the EA Madden NFL team touched on earlier this evening on Twitch. They released a blog on their website, as you can see here. Title simply just puts Gameplay Deep Dive, Superstar X Factors. The interesting thing that I read in this blog is that these X Factor abilities, both the Superstar ability and the Zone ability, is actually going to replace chemistry abilities. Now, we all have a love-hate relationship with chemistries and with abilities in Madden 19. A lot of them didn't work. So therefore, what's the point? And even now with the Superstar ability and these X Factors, you've got a lot of people making fun of this concept, thinking that, oh, it's going to be like NFL Blitz back in its heyday with all these wild and crazy animations, and some people saying they're going to summon the powers of like Antonio Brown and all this other stuff. You know who you are. But anyways, so I just wanted to go through it. I'm not going to read this line by line. If anything, I'm just going to put the link to the full blog in the description, so look for that if you want to read this line by line like I did earlier. I'm going to scroll here. So Clint Oldenburg, he is the senior gameplay designer here for Madden NFL. He is the one that we all seem to also have a love and hate relationship with. When it comes to certain things involving Madden, everyone likes to point out the blocking and how well it works. So therefore, the three things here that they first want you to know is the reason why they're doing this for Madden NFL 20 is they want to make the NFL stars feel like the stars. You know, when you, I, the Madden team, whoever, when we watch football Sunday, Monday, Thursday, etc., whenever football's on and we're watching it, we like to watch the stars ball out, right? Well, that's essentially what these X Factors are going to do. These Superstar abilities and Zone abilities that they're going to have is going to make it so they're going to most likely be the determining factor and can sway a game one way or the other in critical moments is essentially what's going on here. Build unique playbooks in NFL strategy. That's not really about this. That'll be in another deep dive blog about, if I remember correctly, May 23rd, so in like 2 weeks from tonight, because next week is the MUT deep dive that they're going to have. Create more immersive moments and more polished experience. Well, we sure as heck hope so, because everyone and their mother had a lot of complaints about how Madden 19 gameplay went on throughout the year as patch after patch after patch just seemed to fix some things, but then break others, as all patches do. But anyways, let's get into it as the blog says here. X Factors. Now this part, I'll go ahead and read for you real quick. NFL star-driven league. We tune in Sunday, Monday, Thursday, like I already said. See what unfolds as they take the field, right? So the story behind it is each game in Madden NFL 20 will be told by 50 of the NFL's most elite athletes. So that's the key right there. Is the superstar abilities and zone abilities is only going to be given to 50 NFL players at a time. Now, they did mention on their Twitch stream that it is going to be fluid. So when Madden 20 drops on August 2nd, or if you have EA access or you pre-order it and you play 3 days earlier, than that, the thing about it is right then there's only going to be 50 players that have these abilities. Now, as the year goes on, and depending on how those initial 50 players perform, some might lose those abilities, and others might gain them. See how that works? Alright. Scrolling down here. Okay. Each of the 50 players will have a loadout of powerful abilities, including one zone ability that can be unlocked during gameplay by completing an in-game objective tailored to that specific player. That's the key, is these things are only related to that player. So it's not like if you do something with someone else, it's all of a sudden, bam, going to make it so that player's going to have the ability. It's how you perform with these specific players is what's going to make or break them having these zone or superstar abilities, essentially. The perfect example that they gave on stream was Patrick Mahomes from the Chiefs. Boo, Broncos fan here, you all know this. All right, so his zone ability is called Bazooka. Why? Because this guy's a cannon for an arm, right? So when he is in the zone, it is going to increase his maximum pass distance. The maximum pass distance that they listed on stream is that potentially when he is in the zone, he can throw the ball as far as 80 yards down the field. So if you're all the way back on the opposite end at the 20, you want to throw a one-play touchdown, 80 yards, there you go. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually see this in a Madden Ultimate Team solo where the objective is to throw a one-play 80-yard touchdown with Patrick Mahomes. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Now the thing is, though, is with all these superstar abilities and X factors, there are counters, and there are some of these counters listed below, which we'll get into. The first one I want to point out, though, is you can actually knock out the player from the zone, right? So that's the counter. So like say you're playing against someone who's using Patrick Mahomes, and he's getting close to that zone, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to activate this bazooka arm, and I'm just going to chuck it down, and there you go, one play tutty. No, not necessarily the case, because all you got to do is use somebody who's an elite pass rusher and sack the man, or use an elite ball hawk defender and intercept the ball, and there you go. Take him out of the zone. You ain't got to worry about no damn bazooka. Alright, so superstar abilities for Patrick Mahomes is the no-look at Deadeye. We all saw the clips throughout the year, ESPN, Sports Center highlights, top 10, whatever you call it. Him looking this way, throwing that way. Clearly, they're very fond of that in Madden NFL 20 because they list it here. The no-look Deadeye, perfect passing accuracy on crossbody throws. Escape artist, dashing Deadeye, red zone Deadeye. All of the above, these are all for Patrick Mahomes. Escape artist, dashing Deadeye, red zone Deadeye. These also will be potentially on other players as well, but they did specifically say, though, that Patrick Mahomes is going to be the only player that's going to have the ability to have the perfect passing accuracy while throwing across his body to the opposite end of the field. So if you want to be able to do that, you have to specifically use Patrick Mahomes. Now, another example that they gave is Julian Edelman from the Patriots. He's slot-o-matic. He excels at the route running and contested catches when routes from a slot receiver position. That is key because they did mention that on the Twitch stream. He cannot be placed out wide and still receive those superstar abilities. He has to be in the slot. So for those of you that think you can be slick and be like, ooh, well, I'll just place him out wide and he can have the slot-o-matic and there we go. No, it's not going to work. You need to keep him in the slot if you want to have that. A couple others that they mention is pass lead elite, extended precision passing on all throws except for high and low, pocket deadeye, perfect passing accuracy when passing with the QB's feet set from inside the pocket. So if you're a scrambler, that's not going to be for you. The edge rush elite, frequently used dominant pass rush moves when rushing from a defensive edge position. I would say you might want to have a couple people on defense that have that ability when you're going up against someone like Patrick Mahomes. Alright. See right here, game balance is a critical piece. Every ability in the game will have a counter. All abilities can be countered by user skill mechanics and or counter abilities. So they list Julian Edelman's slot-o-matic example. That allows him to hang on to catches in traffic. If the defender covering him has either the zoned out or man up catch knockout ability, then the outcome will be decided by a 50-50 flip. Hold up, timeout, flag on the play, offsides traveling. Wait a minute. Didn't we all talk about this year in Madden 19 that we don't like how sometimes the game literally just comes down to an animation that either may or may not go for us, right? It's literally like, oh, okay, well, these are two elite players. We're just going to, flip a coin and hope for the best. I'm not really sure that a lot of guys are going to be too fond of this. Me, personally, since I'm a very casual MUT player, I'm okay with it because, again, it's a video game. You're supposed to have fun with it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm starting up my channel again. You're not going to see videos like this all the time. I will be doing gameplay. But games are supposed to be fun. I mean, I don't want the computer to decide the outcome, but at the same time, if it happens, I'm not one of the MCS competitors. I'm not playing for thousands of dollars on the line. So for me, I'll live to play another day kind of thing. But for those of you that are part of the MCS that, have been screaming all year long to get rid of these, animated decision type plays that make it so they can make or break you winning or losing a large sum of money, well, I fully sympathize with you and keep pressing forward with your complaints, and hopefully maybe one day they'll listen. But clearly, as of right now, it's still going to come down to a 50-50, coin toss with two elite players, and sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're not. And there's going to be no rhyme or reason as to why sometimes you did win and why sometimes you didn't, other than just, oh, well, they're just both elite players, so we're just going to flip a coin like Two-Face from Batman and hope for the best. All right. Here's what I was talking about earlier with this being fluid, as they mentioned on the Twitch stream. It says the list of the players we've chosen to be Superstar X Factors is an elite and exclusive list that will evolve with the NFL season. Players will be changing throughout the year based on players' performances in the real-life NFL. Okay, got that. All right, franchise and ultimate team specifically will benefit from the addition of superstar abilities, creating another layer of strategy in these modes. They've been designed in a way that allows them to be used in unique ways for player progression and team building. First, we're going to give love to the franchise mode, people. I'll be honest, I really haven't played much franchise since I started playing Ultimate Team in Madden 15. I've tried a couple CFMs, but for the most part, I love the card collecting aspect of Ultimate Team. I do. It's fun for me. It brings me back to my childhood of collecting sports cards. Like, there's nothing wrong with playing franchise mode. You guys will see me play a franchise mode in the upcoming Madden 20. I'll be making Denver Broncos, series for franchise mode. It may just be me against the computer on all Madden difficulty, or it may be me playing with other users on PS4. Who knows? That is yet to be determined, but once I know, you guys will know. But anyways, getting back to how this affects franchise mode for these Superstar X Factors. Franchise mode abilities have been tied to players' development traits, all right? So you guys with franchise mode, you guys are familiar with how you guys like to usually develop your players. Well, this is going to make it so it's a little bit different. In order to be able to have access to ability loadouts, players will need the development traits to unlock them. As such, the development traits have been updated to reflect that potential. So you've got the Superstar X Factors, Zone, and Superstar abilities. If Superstar with Superstar abilities only, Star and Normal have no abilities whatsoever. Alright, so here's how you're going to be able to unlock these, okay? At the end of each season, top performers can increase their development trait to unlock abilities. Even more exciting is drafting a rookie with the Superstar potential development trait. So you who are good at scouting in franchise mode, be on the lookout for some of those rookies coming up that you can draft that will have this potential already. Alright? It even says here, meaning that once you've played with them enough, they will reveal either a Superstar X Factor or Superstar development trait and gain access to their abilities. Alright, tells you to stay tuned for the franchise deep dive blog that's going to be coming out later for more in-depth analysis and more details. Alright, here's the exciting part for me at least, and for all you other Maddenites that love Ultimate Team as much as I do. Here's what I was talking about earlier at the beginning of the video, right? In Ultimate Team, chemistry abilities are being replaced. They are out of here. Sayonara. See you later. By the Superstar abilities, which will bring you more customization tools for your team. While more tools will be available in the toolbox for your players, there will be specific trade-offs and choices that you'll have to make strategically. For example, if you are a player who relies heavily on pre-play adjustments and hot routes, which right there they literally named every MCS player that's playing Madden competitively for prize pool money from August to August, whether it be through the MCS, whether it be through the Mutthead tournaments every Friday night on Twitch, regardless, all those guys heavily rely on making pre-play adjustments and hot routes. They don't just sit there, call a stop play, and they're like, all right, I'm just going to run this play as is. Sweet! No, that's not what they do. So they're literally addressing them right there, in my opinion. Let's see here. I lost my spot going on that little rant. There we go. If your player relies on that, you'll probably want to grab some pre-play abilities. So that's good to know for you guys. They will have some pre-play abilities. But when you have to have those on certain players, what does that do for your other strategic options that you may or may not have available? Because again, they didn't touch on every ability. They only gave us like a little taste, just a little carrot, little nugget of what this all entails. They didn't tell us everything. And even this blog doesn't tell us everything. But if you're more into scrambling with your QB, like everyone and their mother has been with Michael Vick this year, and every other year they use Michael Vick, you'll be interested in equipping some mobile QB abilities. And then it says in most cases you won't be able to get them on all the same player, right? So I don't think that they're going to set it up so you can have the abilities to make your QB be best effective for running, and at the same time make it so you can have all the pre-play and hot route adjustments as well. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, the way I would like to see it done is hopefully maybe they could let the hot routes be for the receivers, perhaps, depending on what routes they like to run. I know QBs, because of us controlling the QB, we're the ones doing the pre-play adjustments, including the hot routes and things like that. So most likely they're probably just going to tie that to the QB as well, but maybe to give it a little bit more diversity, maybe let it be something that's on the receivers. I don't know, just a thought. Speaking of thoughts, I did see one question out there from a slammer who a lot of you may know from the Mutthead forums. He asked about whether or not there would be the possibility of having these X Factors and superstar abilities attached to either stadiums or jerseys, things of that nature, to kind of help us out with being able to play another integral role with how we develop our team and the aesthetics that we choose to use for our team and not just the players. So I'm really curious to follow up with that and see what EA's response is to that question from Slammer. That was a really good question in my opinion. And then from here, the blog continues to go on, talks about superstar animations. Again, I'm not, you guys know how animations work. They did tweak the throwing animations. They mentioned on the stream, they even showed some of the motion. They had some of the actors and whatnot throwing different types of passes for like Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers, Patrick Mahomes, to kind of get the little nuances of how they like to throw the ball. And so for that, the throwing animations have kind of been tweaked to be more realistic to certain QBs. This I did think was interesting, though, as far as the passing animations go, that Aaron Rodgers is going to have the fastest release in the game. So if you want to get the ball out quickly, which I do that a lot, pick him. Interestingly enough, and Mutt Guru will be very appreciative of this, is his guy, Baker Mayfield, is coming in a close second to Aaron Rodgers on how quickly he will be able to get rid of the ball in Madden NFL 20. So those were two very interesting things. Another new thing that they've tweaked is how to do the pump fake mechanics. This coming year in Madden NFL 20, you're not just going to be able just to do one pump fake and it's just a general pump fake. This year, you're going to be able to double tap on the receiver button, and depending on which receiver button you press, it's going to pump fake to that receiver. So I do like that because, think about it. When you're watching football and NFL Sunday or Monday or Thursday, you're not seeing the QB just one pump fake, and it's just generic. No, he's either pump faking to that receiver, or that receiver, or that receiver. He's got options, right? So we should have those options, and now we finally do. So it'll be interesting to see how effective that is. Like, for example, when we watch the Madden NFL 20 MCS tournaments or Mutthead tournaments or whatever, seeing how the pro players utilize that feature, if at all. I'm kind of hoping they do because I would like to see how it is utilized on the elite level, right? So signature animations and special moves, they're just they're just building upon what they did in Madden NFL 19, in my opinion, with the animations. celebrations, and things like that. Then they go on to talk about immersion and quality polish, streamlining the pre-play, post-play, the no-huddle experience, trying to make it so we can just, play the game, right? Rather than, you make a play and you have to watch some gameplay replay, right? And it slows it down and you just want to play, right? Well, that was their intent with that. Again, link will be in the description of this video. You can read it line by line if you so choose. The pass rush, they talk about how it's changed in the NFL in real life. So therefore, they've made some tweaks to it here for Madden NFL 20. It says they're bringing a more balanced and powerful pass rush to the gameplay globally. And what it's going to do is it's going to limit the amount of time allowed in the pocket. So if you're used to being someone who has all day, every day to just sit there in the pocket and just kind of wait and wait and wait for the routes to develop downfield and just chuck it every play, I highly doubt that's how you're going to be able to play at Madden NFL 20. Obviously, we have to get some gameplay footage and we have to get our hands on the game and test it out for ourselves. But based on what's here in black and white, that's what I have to go off of. So that's where I'm formulating that opinion from, right? In-game feedback system is streamlined to be more cohesive and informative, especially regarding all these superstar abilities and X factors and things of that nature. The refactoring of the under pressure QB penalties is still tying into all of this being revamped for the pass rush. Putting pressure on the QB will be more impactful, especially based on the ratings and the superstar abilities of the pass rusher and QB. You'll see great pass rushers have a greater impact on the QB passing accuracy when applying the pressure, and you'll see QBs who are great at throwing under pressure be more accurate, right? So those things you'll definitely want to pay more attention to than you have in years past, in my opinion. But again, they say these things, and Madden does very well in recent years of having these blogs before the game comes out that says all the right things and says all these great things, and it raises our expectations and we have high hopes, and next thing you know we get the game and we're like, what? The blog said this, but the game's doing this. Again, coming from a casual player, I don't take it as seriously as most of you all do, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be sympathetic towards your guys' opinions and respect them and think that they should listen to you, especially those that are coming from the elite level players, the MCS players that you see on Twitch all the time competing for large amounts of money, things of that nature. I mean, they should listen to the casual players as well, but at the same time, they can't ignore the professional players. They just can't. There's got to be a balance. Yes, I know that Madden and the suits there at EA, they want to get as many hands on the game as they possibly can to increase revenue, to put money in their pocket so they can live the life that they live and things of that nature. But at the same time, they can't ignore their stars because we get our hands on the game as casual players, but who are we watching to get better and to learn the game from? We're watching the professional players, right? So they gotta listen to them just as much as they listen to, guys like me, all right? As we continue on, the limits placed on lurking linebackers. Speaking of MCS players, at least when I watch them, I see how they're very good at usering, and they're very good at using over the middle of the field with defensive backs, right, or linebackers, and same thing. In addition to throw trajectory tuning that they mentioned, which essentially all they mentioned is that they're going to make it so they're adjusting the trajectory of the ball as you try to throw it and maybe do soft lobs over the middle. They slightly tweaked how it's trajected, and that'll be fine-tuned over the course of the year, as will other things be tuned as they patch the game, as we all know they will, time and time again throughout the year. But it says, so primarily only defensive backs will be able to execute the athletic jumping INTs in Madden NFL 20, while the linebackers and the defensive linemen will not be able to make these acrobatic catches over the middle. Now, if you, the user, tries to intercept a pass with one of these bigger defenders that they just can't reach the ball, right? The player will trigger a catch animation, but he won't reach it. He just won't reach the ball. He'll try to catch it, and he's going to look goofy, but he's not going to do it. And you're going to be like, what? It went right over his head. Why didn't I get it? Well, that's why. However, you're in luck, because again, what is this blog about? It's about X factors and superstar abilities, right? So here's the catch-22 with this. However, we have picked out the best ball-in-air linebackers and equipped them with a superstar ability to allow them to get up in the air and make spectacular catches when applicable. So again, I won't be surprised if every single person who plays MUT, especially on a high level that's playing competitively, most likely has the same linebackers that, lo and behold, has the same ability. I know, shocking, right? Okay. More quality tweaks, again, that will be mentioned, and that's pretty much it. So again, I'm going to link this in the description of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Your guys' support means everything to me. I look forward to bringing you guys as much content as I possibly can with Madden, with other games as well. But in the meantime, this is all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time, it's me, C Ballin', but I got to go.